Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to reach your destination, right? How to reach that level of success that you want to achieve, but you just don't know how to get there. So if you haven't already, grab a pen, grab some paper, notebook, and we'll get right into it. But you might want to take a few notes because there may be something that you hear that will help you along the way to reach your destination. So I'll give you just a couple seconds. All right, let's get into it. How to reach your destination. Right. If you've ever traveled before, if you've ever been on a plane, right, you know exactly where you're traveling to. You know that destination, where you're going. The one thing you don't know is what obstacles you may face along the way. Right? There could be weather delays. There could be a maintenance issue. There could be air traffic that is causing you to have to sit on the plane before you can get on the runway and take off. Doesn't matter what it is. It's a delay. It's a delay in you reaching your destination. Well, the same thing pretty much happens in our lives as well, right? We tend to find delays in the process that prevent us from reaching our destination. Right? In Isaiah 46:10, it talks about God will show you the end before he shows you the beginning, right? He will show you the finish line and then take you back to the start. And then that distance between the finish line and the start is unwritten. That's what we have to fill in. That distance between the finish line and the start is what I call the plan. You're going to have a plan in order to get to your destination. And that's what I want to talk to you about. The formula for the plan. Right? The formula that worked for me for the plan is equal to 1, setting my goals, and 2, having the mindset. So the plan is equal to my goals plus my mindset. All right. So what I'm going to start off with is talking about my goals. Right. Talking about goals. Goals are very important. Why are they very important, Steve? Great. I'm glad you asked. If you don't have goals, how do you know where you're going? And if you don't have goals that are time-based, how can you track your progress? You see, a goal is an idea of a desired result that one wants to achieve in a certain amount of time. It's an idea of a desired result that one wants to achieve in a certain amount of time. Write that down. An idea of a desired result that one wants to achieve in a certain amount of time. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have goals that are time-based, you can't track your progress, so you don't know when you're going to get to your goal. You don't know if you're even getting close to your goal. Right? Let's talk about this plane, this trip again, right? When you get ready to take a flight somewhere, you know exactly where you're going. We talked about that. You know where you're leaving from. You know where you currently are. That will be your start. You know what time your flight is taking off. You even know the length of time the airline gives you to reach your destination. So let's just say you had a 50-minute flight. You had a 50-minute flight to reach your destination. You don't always land on time. You don't always land in that 50 minutes exactly at that destination. Why is that? Because there are delays in the process. There are delays in the process. And a couple things about goals that we have to take into account are, there are 2 things that I want you to write down. 2 things I want you to write down. Number 1, goals have to be specific. Goals have to be specific. Everybody wants to make a lot of money, right? But my goal can't be, I want to make a lot of money. Sure, that's a part of it, but that's not specific enough, right? So, for example, the company that I'm in, I want to be a chairman 10 by November 28th. That's my goal. Specific, right? I want to be a chairman 10. Chairman 10 comes along with a specific salary, right? Chairman 10 comes along with, a specific rank where I want to go. And then I put a date to it. I said November 28th, right? There's your time. You got a specific goal with a time attached to it. So now I can track my progress. I know where I'm going. I've got a time attached to it. Doesn't mean I'm going to hit it right on time, even though I want to hit it by November 28th because there might be some delays in the process. But I have a goal set, a specific goal with a specific time. That is very key. That's number one. Make sure you write that down. Goals have to be specific. Okay. Number two, you have to set actions for your goals. You have to set actions for your goals. Why do you need to set actions? Well, if we put a goal out there, we still have to do the work to get to the goal. It's not just going to pop up because I said, hey, I want to be a chairman 10 by November 28th. It's not just going to magically happen. No, we have to put actionable tasks to each one of our goals in order to get to that destination. All right. Do you think that God will guide our footsteps if you're not willing to move your feet? You think he would do that? You think he would guide your footsteps if you're not willing to move your feet? No. That means you're not going anywhere. Why would he waste his time? Doesn't make sense, right? You have to be specific about your goals, and you have to put specific actions. So, hey, I'm going to be doing 4 overview calls to introduce this product to this many customers during this time, right? Specific, actionable. You're actually doing overview calls, right? You're actually promoting the business, right? On social media, on the internet, on if you want to do commercials on TV, whatever the case may be, whatever the job you have to do actionable tasks to contribute to you reaching those goals, right? So we talked about goals being specific, and we talked about goals being actionable. Those were 2 key elements of me reaching my goals. Okay. Now, let me move over to mindset, because I believe mindset is, I don't want to say it's more important, but it's more difficult because a lot of us don't even realize that we have a mindset problem. And, one phrase that I like to use is the decisions that we make in life are determined by the mindset that we are tuned into. The decisions we make in life are determined by the mindset that we are tuned into. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine I used to work with, he set out a goal. He set out he wanted to purchase 2 pair of Balenciaga shoes. For those of you who are familiar with Balenciagos, they are $975 a pair before tax, right? So he wanted to spend clear over $1,900 on 2 pair of shoes. Okay, not judging him. That's what he wants. Cool, However, I know exactly how much he made. I know exactly what he had to do in order to come up with the funds to purchase those shoes, right? I know how much overtime he worked. he set out a goal that he wanted to achieve, and he achieved it. But here's where mindset could have come into play, right? You see, we whatever we see, that's what we think. Whatever we see, that's what we think, right? So we see on social media, we see on the internet, we see on TV, all these celebrities, these rich and wealthy people living certain types of lifestyles, right? You see them with the expensive clothes and the expensive cars, and we want to live that lifestyle. And nothing's wrong with that. But if we don't have the mindset to put in the work or make the investments that they did, then we're just copying the lifestyle, right? We're just copying the lifestyle. Did y'all catch that? If we're not willing to make the investments and put in the effort, the work that they did, then we're only copying their lifestyle, right? So here's where I was talking about mindset coming into play. If my friend would have took that same $1,900 and invested it into foreign currency, stocks, cryptocurrency, binary options, metal, silver, gold, whatever it may be, he would have been taking a step towards learning how to live that lifestyle versus copying that lifestyle, right? Living the lifestyle versus copying the lifestyle. Why do you say he's copying the lifestyle? Well, because the rich and wealthy people who are buying Balenciagos, right, who are buying these expensive clothes and expensive cars, they're not trading time for money, right? They're not punching anybody's clock in order to get a paycheck, right? Rich and wealthy people, they take their money and they make their money work for them. They're not working for their money. So when you think about what my friend did, and again, it's his money, he can do whatever he wants with it, not judging him at all, but we have to change our mindsets to be like the rich and wealthy, to become rich and wealthy. Because if we're spending the insane amount of dollars that the rich and wealthy are spending, and then we're still living the paycheck to paycheck, then we're not in the right mindset. Okay? And there's three things I want to talk about when it comes to mindset. And I want you guys to write these down. It's three things. All right? Number one, tuning your mind to be wealthy. Tuning your mind to be wealthy. What does that mean, Steve? Well, I touched on it a little bit already, right? Rich and wealthy folks are not punching a clock or trading time for money, right? Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, he's not punching the clock. He's making money in his sleep. He's making his money work for him. That's what I mean about tuning your mind to be wealthy. We have to start thinking like an investor. Start thinking like big business owners. Excuse me. The way that the world thinks right now, right? The way that our mindsets are tuned is that 60% of us, we think we have to work for somebody because we work for somebody, right? We were taught, we were raised that we need to go and get a trade or go to school and get a job to work for somebody. That's the mindset that we're tuned into. So we were taught to be tuned into going to work for somebody who can tell you, one, when you have to go to work, when you can go on vacation, when you can go on break, and in some places, when you can go to the bathroom. That's the mindset that we were tuned into. And we have to break that mindset, right? And then there's 35% of us who are small business owners who have taken a step in the right direction. However, small business owners are still having to trade their time for money, right? Their business is not going to survive if they don't. So it's really breaking their mindset to start thinking like the rich and wealthy, to start thinking like the top 5%. The top 1% being those investors, right? Top 1% being those investors, people who are taking their money and making their money work for them, right? They are making money in their sleep. That's what the top 1% are doing. And then the other 4% being big business owners, meaning they have 500 plus partners. You think about the Sams and the Walmarts, the guys who are actually running these shows, right? Who's actually making the money, who's sitting at the top of the board. They have the mindset to be big business owners. They have the mindset to be investors. They don't have the mindset to work for somebody. And that's what we got to get into, right? So that was number one, tuning your mind to be wealthy, right? Number two, this one's important, believing in yourself. Believing in yourself. You see, we can all see the destinations where we want to go. We can all start to work on our goals and write those out. We can start to change our mindset. But if we don't have the belief that we can achieve these goals, then we won't achieve these goals. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will. If you don't believe in yourself, then you will not be able to be a business owner. You will not be able to be an investor. Why? Well, because you don't believe in yourself, so nobody else does. That's a very important step, is believing in yourself. You know, this time of year, outside of the pandemic, the Olympics will be going on right now. And you see athletes from all over the world competing against one another. They believe in themselves. They believe that they can get there to a place where they wanted to go, to their destination, and they want to perform at a high level. And the thing about it is, not everybody performs at a high level once they get to that destination, right? Not everybody performs how they want to perform in the Olympics. You know, one of the things that you see, or that I've noticed, is that sometimes they get to that destination and they get hurt. But I can tell you one thing. I've seen a lot of athletes that have gotten hurt on that track, for example, but they will get up and they will hobble, skip, jump, whatever they have to do to cross that finish line. Because to them, it might not have been all about winning. To them, it might have been just being able to cross that finish line because their country had never been to the Olympics before in that specific event. And they made it, and they did it for their country. And no matter what obstacles they had in their way, they crossed that finish line. They believed in themselves, even though nobody else did. They believed that even though they got hurt, fell down, they could get up and cross that finish line because that was their destination. So it's very important that you believe in yourself. You believe in your goals. You believe in that destination where you can go. You've seen other people do it, so you want to do it. But you got to believe that you can do it. You have to speak it into your life that you can reach your destination. That was number two, believing in yourself. So we talked about number one, that was tuning your mind to be wealthy. We talked about number two now, believing in yourself. Now let's talk about number three. Because number three, some of you aren't going to like. Because number three is difficult. It's difficult. Surround yourself with people who have the same mindset. Surround yourself with people who have the same mindset. Why did you say that was difficult, Stephen? Let me explain. A lot of us have people around us right now that are not in the same mindset as us. And that's a problem. You see, not everyone is supposed to be in your life for more than a season. Let me say that again. Not everyone is supposed to be in your life for more than a season. I know I stepped on some people's toes right there, but that's okay. The thing is that if you have people that are in your life that are not helping you reach your goals, that do not have the same mindset as you, they are a delay in you reaching your destination. I know that's hard for some of you to hear. It was hard for me to hear. If you have people in your life who are not helping you reach your goals and do not have the same mindset as you, they are a delay in you reaching your destination. So remember that plane ride I talked about back at the beginning of this presentation? When we talk about that flight, we want to take off, but we've got those delays. We got that weather delay or that maintenance delay or that air traffic delay when we're sitting on the runway for 30 minutes when we should have already been in the air. That's the same delay that people are bringing into your life who are not on the same mindset as you, who don't have goals, who don't have a plan, they don't know where their destination is. The thing is that you can't hang out with these people because they're delaying you from reaching your destination. And it's not that you don't love them. It's not that you don't care about them. You just can't hang out with them because your focus should be on your destination. Your focus should be on your plan. Your focus should be on attaining your goals. Your focus is a part of your mindset. And we have to change that in order to reach our destination. The problem with this specific part of tuning your mindset, right, is how do you release people out of your life that are causing you delays because you don't want to hurt their feelings, right? We don't want to hurt. Well, at least some of us don't want to hurt people's feelings, right? You simply have to have conversations with these people that, hey, if I have specific goals, I have a specific focus, I have a specific destination that I want to go to. And you're not helping me reach my goals. You don't have the same mindset that I have. You would rather be out in the streets versus focusing on how to become rich and wealthy. I cannot have that in my circle right now. You just have to be upfront and be honest and tell them, I love you, care about you, but me hanging out is distracting me from reaching my destination. And they're going to find some offense to it. That's okay. Right? That's okay. Because again, you have to focus on your destination. You can't focus on theirs because they don't have the same goals as you. They don't have the same plan as you. They definitely don't have the same mindset as you. So, surround yourself with people who have the same mindset as you. All right. So I talked about quite a few things here. I hope you guys picked up on it. The plan. The plan is very important, right? Because in order to reach that destination, you have to set goals. And the goals are along that path. That's the distance. The plan is that distance between the finish line and the start, right? And the goals are along that path to get to the finish line. It's like, well, Stephen, how do I reach each individual goal that's along that path? Guess what? You have to make a plan. Make a micro plan. The same thing applies. You have to set goals that are specific and actionable. Actionable is going to be very important because once you reach that first goal, right, you had to do some actions to get there. Boom. Okay, guess what? Now you got to get to the next goal. those actions may have to change. You may have to be more aggressive. You may have to do things that you haven't had to do before. But that's all a part of reaching the destination. That's all a part of achieving the plan. You're going to have to do some things that you may not like. That's going to take time. You're going to get tired. Of course, you're going to get tired. You're going to need to recharge, refuel, because there's no place that we travel to that we don't have to fuel up. If we fly overseas, we're going to fuel up before we go, right? If we're driving in a car, we're going to fuel up. And especially in a car, if you're going on a long drive, well, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to stop. You're going to have to refuel. You're going to have to rest, because you're going to get tired. It's not going to be easy. But guess what? We're going to hop back in that car. We're going to be wide awake, refueled, recharged, and get back on our path to our destination. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys took some notes. This was part 1, focusing on the plan. Part 2 will be coming very soon. My name is Stephen Williams, and I thank you for listening to this message, and I hope you all take care and be safe.